July 7th, 1944. Inside a U.S. medical tent, wounded American soldiers are being patched up one after another. Then the tent flap gets ripped open. A Japanese soldier storms in and stabs a wounded American soldier lying on the ground. Bayonet, right there. And he's not done. He's already turning to go after the next wounded guy. But right there, in that tent, an American dentist grabs a rifle. What that one guy did that night, it's the kind of thing that ends up in the history books forever. This is a true story from World War II, and that dentist's name was Ben L. Solomon. So here's how it all started. During World War II, out in the Pacific, the US and Japan were locked in this brutal fight, and one island became a huge deal, Saipan. Japan knew if they lost Saipan, that was basically it. The war was as good as over for them. So they swore they'd hold that island until literally every last man was dead. Captain Ben L. Solomon was with the 2nd Battalion, 105th Infantry Regiment. His actual job? Army dentist. But things on Saipan got so bad, so fast, that he ended up right up near the front line taking care of wounded guys. They made him the battalion surgeon, meaning right where the fighting's happening, he's the one stopping the bleeding, wrapping up wounds, trying to save whoever he can save. Then comes the morning of July 6th. A Japanese general gives an order to his men.
Tonight, we push forward and hit the American enemy.
Their whole mindset was basically 7 lives for 1. Throw everything you've got at them, no matter the cost. American intelligence catches wind of this. By the evening of July 6th, the word's already out. There's a massive attack coming tomorrow morning. The American battalion sets up a defensive line. Foxholes get dug all along it, and Solomon sets up his medical tent about 50 yards behind those foxholes, maybe 30 yards from the beach. Then, in the middle of the night, the Japanese launch this huge assault. And we're not talking a small skirmish here. This is thousands of Japanese soldiers coming at once, trying to smash straight through the American lines. It's so massive that both the 1st and 2nd Battalions of the 105th are getting crushed under the pressure. American guys are fighting back hard, but they're outnumbered, badly. All night long, wounded soldiers keep coming in. Solomon's working non-stop, treating one guy after another. Morning's about to break. Japanese soldiers are coming in waves. The American line starts breaking in spots. Some guys get killed right there. A ton of wounded soldiers get rushed to Solomon's aid station. Within minutes, his tent's got about 30 wounded men packed inside. But the fighting outside isn't outside anymore. It's right there. Japanese soldiers have broken through the perimeter. This aid station, which is supposed to be a safe spot for wounded guys, is now in the middle of the danger zone itself. Gunfire's getting louder right outside the tent. Every shot means the enemy's getting closer. And then it happens. The moment that changes everything for Ben Solomon. He sees a Japanese soldier come busting into the tent and bayonet a wounded American guy lying right there. And that soldier's already looking for his next target, another wounded man. If Solomon doesn't do something right now, that guy's dead too. So Solomon grabs a rifle off a wounded soldier and drops the attacker on the spot. But that's just the start. The second Solomon turns back to the wounded, 2 more Japanese soldiers come through the tent entrance. Solomon doesn't hesitate. He takes both of them out with his rifle too. But they keep coming. Within seconds, 4 more Japanese soldiers start crawling in under the tent walls. Now it's close, like really close. This isn't even a gunfight anymore. It's hand to hand. Solomon goes right at them. He knocks a knife out of one guy's hand, shoots another, blocks a third with his bayonet. Even one of the wounded American soldiers manages to help out and takes down 4th attacker. This sounds like something out of a movie, right? But this actually happened. The wounded guys in that tent knew, if Solomon goes down, none of them are making it out. And Solomon himself could see it too. This spot wasn't safe anymore. The attack was too big. The American line was breaking. It was only a matter of time before this whole aid station got completely surrounded. That's when he made the call that became the biggest turning point of his story. He told the wounded to get out. Whoever could walk, walk. Whoever could crawl, crawl. If a buddy could carry you, get carried. Just get out, one way or another. But here's the problem. Who's going to hold off the enemy while they do that? If everyone pulls back, the enemy's right on top of them in seconds. So Solomon took that job himself. He didn't hand it off to anybody.
He walked straight out of that tent, and outside was even worse. Japanese soldiers were pushing forward everywhere. 4 American guys manning a machine gun had already been killed. That gun was just sitting there, empty. And if it stayed like that, either useless or worse, taken by the enemy, things were about to get a whole lot uglier. So Solomon ran over and grabbed it. Now picture this. A dental officer, who not that long ago was treating patients in a tent, is now behind a machine gun. Thousands of enemy soldiers coming at him. Behind him, wounded men trying to get away. And Solomon's got exactly one job now. Hold the line. Buy time. Every single second could be the difference between life and death for the guys retreating behind him. He opened fire. Wave after wave of enemy soldiers came at him, and he just kept shooting. They'd slow down, push forward again, get knocked back, try again. Solomon never moved from his spot. But through all of it, one thing was certain. As long as that gun kept firing, the wounded had a shot at making it out alive. The enemy just kept coming. This wasn't even close to a fair fight. It was one guy against a wall of soldiers. Calling him a one-man army honestly wouldn't be an exaggeration. Nobody knows exactly how long he held that position. But you get a sense of it from what American troops found afterward. When the Americans finally pushed back and retook the area and reached that aid station, what they saw stopped them cold. Ben L. Solomon's body was right there by the machine gun. Ben L. Solomon's body had 76 bullet and bayonet wounds, many which would have been when he was still alive, and he stayed at his post until the very last second. But here's the part that really hits you. What was in front of him? Right in front of his machine gun position was a pile of dead Japanese soldiers. When they counted afterward, 98 enemy soldiers dead, right in front of where he stood. That number's not just a number. It tells you how long that man held the line, how many times the enemy pushed forward, how many times he pushed them back, and most of all, how much time he bought for his fellow soldiers to get out alive. There's another part of Ben Solomon's story that goes deeper, the recognition he deserved. It didn't come right away. A big reason for that delay was the fact that he was a medical officer. In war, medical personnel operate under different rules. They're normally treating the wounded, not directly engaged in combat. So the process for something like this gets complicated. Time went on. The war ended. The world moved forward. What happened on Saipan that day slowly became just another entry in the history books. But Ben L. Solomon's story never fully disappeared. And eventually, his sacrifice got the recognition it always deserved. On May 1st, 2002, 57 years after Ben Solomon died, President George W. Bush awarded him the Medal of Honor in the Rose Garden at the White House, posthumously. Dr. Robert West accepted it on his behalf, on behalf of the USC School of Dentistry. That medal still sits at USC's dental school today. Ben Solomon is the only dentist in American history to ever receive the Medal of Honor. The recognition came way later than it should have, but his story finally got the place in history it always deserved. So that's the true story of Ben L. Solomon. If you respect what this guy did, drop a salute in the comments. And if you're into true war stories like this one, make sure you're following the Ruby 3D page.